first man's Wacey Cathy from Big Spring, Texas. Through a bull called Spanky. Again, they did not spur the bulls out the first jump of the chute.
Here's the way they came in, Larry. Marty Standard, who is out with an injury. Gary Toole, Ricky Bolin. Lonnie Wyatt, by the way, is out with an injury. He is in the hospital, will be in overnight, and it appears that he has the possibility of a ruptured spleen. That is an update on his condition. Ken Wilcox, he is damaged, but here. Wacey Cathy, Bobby DelVecchio, a groin pull. Denny Flynn, Donnie Gay, those guys are healthy. Glen McIlvain in there.
Well, it's going to be exciting. These men cannot buck off before the 8-second whistle or touch the animal with the free hand, or they'll be disqualified. Here's Wacey taking that final wrap, laying the tail across his hand. And moves up into position. Gets as close to the back of the hand as he possibly can. It's a combination of timing, coordination, balance. Move the free arm, move the feet, move the head. Control the body, coordinate your moves with the bull's move. Whoa, whips his feet up behind him, jerks him down, hand hung in the rope.
We can clearly see the alertness of those Wrangler bullfighters. We notice Rex Dunn and Jimmy Anderson immediately on the scene. Quail Dobbs out there at the barrel is kind of a sanctuary for these guys in case they need him.
Bull clipped him under the chin there, and looks like he's going to have a few stitches before it's all over. Pretty good moves right there, but then right here the bull jerks his feet up behind him. Feet slides up the back of the bull. He's already clicked him under the chin. I'm thinking about it, if you ride bulls long enough, everybody has the little scar under the chin. I got mine in Hobbs, New Mexico, many years ago.
Oh, did you? You do have a way of remembering where that was, don't you?
That's right.
Kenny Wilcox was slam dunked, and the bull hooked him in about the 5th round. Came back, rode a good bull a round or two later, and then the bull stepped on him right in the lower back or hip area. So I know that he is sore. This is a Reg Kessler bull called Spectacular. The bull is extremely rank. We watched him out a little earlier, about 6 or 7 rounds ago.
Tough competitor right there. Good shot, that final wrap. Came to his first national finals in 1980 and won the half range. Quite a character, I'll tell you.
Look at those camera shots. I don't care what kind of a lens you have to get pretty close to the action to pick that up.
Trying to get the bull stand. You want them standing properly on all 4 feet, because if they get a Sunday at you that first jump, it's definitely to the rider's disadvantage.
You can hear him talking to him. Wanting to move him over, he's leaning on the left foot.
Hey, let's try.
All right, he says, let's try him. That means the gate's open and the whole deal's on. It's all in your hands for 8, Kenny.
Oh, big old snatch and brindle bull. Didn't turn back and spin, but extremely hard to ride. And Ken is one sore cowboy tonight.
Look how slowly he's getting up. He's trying to shake it off. He's going to stay right there at Quail's barrel. He said, get this big pup out of here and I may walk back. I don't need any more of that.
Lots of power here. Watch that bull drop the old front end. Kind of hop, skip. Feet whips back behind him. All the pressure on the hand right there just slammed him into the ground. You can bet he'll be happy to see tomorrow afternoon come to an end.
Bet he will. Ricky Bolin of Mesquite, Texas. The man up next, drawing that rope up tight now. He started off hot. Rode about 3 in a row. Got on a winning streak. Things started coming apart for him. He came back, recovered again. Went to win it again, and now, this afternoon, he took a bad shot, came down.
Whoa, lost control of that 1 foot. It's amazing. This game absolutely amazes me, you know. When you've been away from it, not ridden them for a few years, and you look at it and you say, I must have been crazy to do that.
I must have been
totally
really
insane.
Crazy. Look at the size of that bull now. Now you look at his size, and then you watch here in a moment, and he'll do just a little tap dance right there on the top of Ricky Bolin.
Well, if the bull hadn't stumbled, he might have stuck a horn in him, I'll tell you.
Here you have another look at it.
Right here, the old right foot comes up behind him, gets it back down. Inside, now he's to the outside of the spin, looks off the ground, and that's what happens when you look off the ground. You're going to find yourself lying there.
Gary Toole is the man up next. Gary from Mangum, Oklahoma. Well, John McBeth, as we look to this pen of bulls, we can see that they are somewhat the eliminators, but is that A team coming back tomorrow for the final pin?
I think they call these the semi-eliminators. I'd hate to see what we're going to have to get on tomorrow, wouldn't you, Ed?
I would, if that's going to be that pen of bulls that we watched earlier. Oh, my.
Tell you what, we have a good bull ride going here. Turns back, spins one way, jumps out of it, back the other. Whoa, bull spun 3 different ways. Oh, man, looks like he'll stick a horn in you. Lots of action right there. Around the end of the gate to the left.
Well, he scores 77 as we watch it. And again, those bullfighters were in there so quickly and very alertly to take care of this man. They will stay in close to the play. They will try to stay out of any interference with the ride, but they want to be in position where they can help the man out. There is Rex Dunn right there. He's one of the good ones, and the bull riders selected him to be one of their protectors. Lane Frost is out next. Now, Lane came here in a very tight race for the world title in 2nd place. Right now he's showing at 4th as he's had a little bad luck here in the late rounds. He's on a bull called Combustion. That bull comes from down in Florida, from Matt Dryden's strength.
This young man's a tough hand. Take a look at that right there. Pulls the tail of the rope down through the little finger. If you ride left-handed, buck off on the right side, there's an extremely good chance you're going to hang up.
Aha, he's going for the downs, isn't he?
Well, that'll help keep that rope from getting jerked out of his hand. Low bull turns back. All right, looking good. Started weak. The ride has progressed. More and more power is being thrown at the cowboy. Looks like he might have stepped on his old leg.
Well, Lane Frost, about the 5th or 6th round, following a good bull ride, really did get slam dunked down. And I think he's sore, too. You can't get on these kind of bulls 9 days in a row and not be sore. 75 comes up for the Lane Frost ride. A score of 75.
This young man has a lot of talent. Again, body control using the free arm. Whoa.
Cody Lambert could have made it 3 in a row. He won the 7th round, came right back to win the 8th round, and $16,000 is what he did.
He's not going to win the 9th round.
Well, Gary Toole is down there with Johnny McBeth, and we'll see how his ride turned out. It was a good one. John, are you there? I think he has just found Gary now. I think Johnny has just walked up to him. John, do you have Gary Toole with you?
We sure do have Gary Toole with us right here. Gary's just coming off of a very, very serious injury last year, has fully recovered, and rides bulls like he owns them now. Gary, tell us about that bull. Is he strong, a rank bull that we really saw? Or
that bull is a bull of Sankey's that I don't know that well. He's real smart. He knows where you're at most of the time you're on top of him. I was real fortunate. Things went right with me. He didn't outsmart me. It's good.
It really did look good, and you're to be congratulated. Hadley, I think this man's really to be congratulated. He's just coming off of a severed liver injury.
You're right, and he came back strong. This man has always come back strong. This is Don Gay, won the world title 8 times. And he may win it again.
Yes, and he's retired. Won over $600,000 riding bulls. I'll tell you, whoa. Gets to the outside, bull turns back to the right. Donnie rides left-handed. Oh, he's sore. He's a sore young man right here. 32 years old. He's not a young man for this game. Getting into the twilight years
Sounds
of the
pretty
rodeo.
young to me, but I guess not as a bull rider, huh?
That's right. Right here, this big bull gets him tipped to that outside. The old right foot's too far up the side. I'll tell you, There's a lot of pain in a lot of bodies here this week.
Glen McIlvain from Mesquite, Texas, learned to ride bulls in the same arena that young man, Donnie Gay, did. It is down there at the Mesquite Weekly Rodeo that the Neil Gay family operates. McIlvain is the man now.
See a lot of young men here taking that wrap down through the little finger, sticking it between the Twinkies. It's a hard little bull to ride. A lot of snatching, a lot of jerking, putting a lot of pressure on that rope. For any young boys that are out there that are bull riders, unless you're extremely consistent, I would recommend that you do not run the tail of the rope down through the finger. That's a good way to get your head knocked off.
That's true, unless you have good control of what you're doing. And as Larry mentioned earlier, if you buck down away from your hand, that means if you ride right-handed like Glenn does, and you come down the left side of the bull, it can roll that hand over and put you in a bind. Those young bull riders know exactly what we're talking about. And the added tie on having that through your finger, then you'll have to get there with the free hand, jerk it out. You can't always get that done.
You find these young men that are going for championships and riding for $8,000 day monies, that's a different situation, I guess. I remember a few times in the old days I'd do it. Wasn't.
Well, I think actually you do have a little better control. Let's see how the barrel racing came out for some of the folks that were not with us during the barrel racing. Martha Josie won it. Rose Webb placed second. Janet Powell got in there again for third. And Trudy Freeman stays solid for fourth. It was a pretty good barrel racing. We rearranged a lot of things in that event.
Denny Flynn, Arkansas cowboy that's ridden all of the ranked bulls around the country over the years, doesn't compete too heavily anymore. Goes to a few rodeos, just enough to try to make it to the national finals or the big ones where he can get a lot of the money. Years ago, he rode a bull that Tommy Steiner called Red Lightning, bull number 11, 98 points out of a possible 100. Ooh.
Well, now Flynn has rode 4 successfully out of the 8 that he's been on. But he has scored literally every time he's been to the pay window. He has been to the pay window on all of the bulls for $13,000.
Then he'll sort of get back there on the end of his arm quite often. Sometimes he turns his toes straight out, but most of the time I'd say kind of clatters and bangs with his feet along the rib cage of these old bulls.
That's a rank bull.
Oh, he certainly is. Look at old Denny sitting back on the end of that arm. The arm up in the air. Whoa, what a bull ride. What a bull ride.
Boy, when this guy shows up with that rope in his hand, any of the stock contractors that have any bulls hanging around that have never been ridden, they have to shake in their boots a little when Flynn draws them.
Oh, I'll tell you, that bull there will test you jumping and kicking. Front end going one way, one jump, another way the next one. Turns back, goes into a spin, comes up with a total of 85 points. Denny Flynn.
Well, what a great ride. We'll be back with that results of Denny Flynn's ride right after we hear this important word. He's riding hard. Tuff Hedeman is the man trying to protect that lead for the championship of the world. And it looked like kind of a nip and tuck deal on that bull. I don't think that bull fit his style of riding, but he has a way of kind of making those adjustments. Look at him grin.
Nice young man, and I'll tell you, when it comes down to the wire like this where you've rodeoed hard all year and then it comes down to possibly the last bull, the determining bull of whether or not you'll win the world's championship, that's a lot of pressure, lots of pressure. Here's one that most of the people know if you're familiar with rodeo at all, from the Bronx, New York, Bobby DelVecchio riding with an extremely injured groin muscle.
And speaking of injuries, we have an update from the Justin Healer program that Charlie Sampson has no broken bones. He has cut up a bit from that bad accident he had this afternoon. He is in the hotel, out of the hospital, but will not, I repeat, will not ride tomorrow. He is out.
There he is, the Italian stallion, Bobby DelVecchio. Whoa, big snatching bull again, one that's hard to ride. Skips out through there one way, back the other. Oh man, what a guy goes through just to get on one for 8 seconds and then can't make the 8 seconds. I bet when he pulls his old Wranglers down, he's going to have a lot of tape under there.
Well, you know, DelVecchio, even with the injury, was positioned second in the average, and I'm sure that helped make his decision to get on this bull injured. Now, whether or not he will be remaining in contention for the average, and when the stat sheets all come down, I think that will help him with his decision tomorrow as to whether to ride or not. This boy, Ted Nuce, is the traveling partner of Charlie Sampson. He knows that his friend is in the hotel, out of action, looking on. Ted Nuce, right now, is ahead of everybody. He is one full bull ahead of everybody in the average. He's also in second place in the race for the world title. Only about $11,000 out of the lead, but if he wins the average, that's good for $17,000, so that could turn it all around.
Big bucks. The game has changed, I'll tell you.
There's Jimmy Anderson. He's working the other side along with Rex Dunn. Matter of fact, he stepped in as the alternate after Miles Hare was injured, I believe on Tuesday or Wednesday night. Miles Hare suffered 3 or 4 broken ribs, and Jimmy stepped in.
Well, there'll be a lot of championships at stake tomorrow, Hadley.
If Nuce rides this one, he is almost cinched a second or third place in the average, even if he bucks down tomorrow. So this is a very important ride for him. It could be a $10,000 ride even if he doesn't place here. Oh, I think he's got him. I don't think he has any trouble at all.
That's a fine young man.
He completes another ride. And a statement that we made in reference to Tuff Hedeman riding all of the bulls. We made the statement earlier. I have to say now, as the A team from the bullpen comes back tomorrow, that Nuce needs to draw away from a bull called Mr. T or a bull called Cowtown, and he may have the shot. We'll be back with the official results of bull riding right after this important word.